Let us take a look at how to find the sum of the roots of quadratic equations. We're going to talk about the standard quadratic equation. We'll discuss the roots of quadratic equations, and then I'll show you how to actually derive the sum of the roots of quadratic equations. And then after that, we'll walk through the steps that I will recommend that you follow when you're trying to calculate the sum of the roots of quadratic equations. And then we'll do some examples applying the steps. So now, what is a standard quadratic equation? A standard quadratic equation is expressed in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Here is the quadratic term, here is the linear term, and here's your constant term. So this is very important as we go through the rest of this lesson. So the roots of a quadratic equation, and you can see here that for you to have this root, for you to be able to apply this, you have to first express it in the standard form, which is ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. So if a quadratic equation is expressed in this form, the roots are going to be negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And so if you look at this, this is also the same as saying you have two values, x equal to negative b plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a, and then you also have x equal to negative b minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So those are the two different roots that you have for this standard quadratic equation. So now how do we go about deriving the sum? Let's go ahead and express. We have x equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So we're going to split this as x, let's call it x1 equal to negative b plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. And let's say x2 equal to negative b minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So now x1 plus x2 is going to be equal to negative b plus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a plus negative b minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So now we're going to add this together, and we have a common denominator of 2a. So we have negative b plus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, and then you have plus here, so minus b minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. So you can see here that this is plus b squared minus 4ac, this is minus b squared minus 4ac, so this is going to end up becoming 0. So this is going to end up being negative b minus b over 2a, which is negative 2b over 2a, and you're going to end up with negative b over a. So that means that x1 plus x2 equal to negative b over a. So this is how you derive the sum of the root of a quadratic equation. So now how do we go about calculating the sum of the roots of quadratic equation? First of all, you have to express the equation in this format, ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. And then you're going to compare your equation with this standard equation so you can get the values of a, b, and c. And then you will now substitute the values of a and b into this equation. So alpha plus beta, which is what we did as x1 plus x2, is equal to negative b over a. So now let's apply this to some examples. So what is the sum of the root of 4x squared plus 9x minus 6? So what we're going to do is we're going to write this as ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. So I'm going to say a is equal to 4, b is equal to 9, and c equal to -6. So the sum of the roots, so let's call it alpha plus beta, is -b over a, which is going to be -9 over 4. So this is going to be the sum of the root of this quadratic equation. Let's try another example. So we have 4x squared minus 49. So we're going to express our ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. You can see here that a is equal to 4. We don't have a value for b, so we're going to make that 0, and c equal to -49. So alpha plus beta is -b over a, which is equal to -0 over 4, which is 0. So you can see here that the sum of the roots here will be 0, and this pretty much tells you, if you factor this, you'll find out that this is the difference of two squares. And so the last example we have here, we'll do exactly the same thing. Ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. So a is equal to 3, b equal to -9, c equal to -7. Alpha plus beta is -b over a, which is equal to -9 over 3, which is 9 over 3, and is equal to 3. So the sum of the roots of this quadratic equation is equal to 3.